Skincare everywhere, but what's good at the drugstore? I'm not a chemist or a dermatologist, but I am a total formula nerd. Oh yes, I am. That's been using skincare for around 4 decades, just a very, very long time. Want to find out what my favourites are? Want to find out what ingredients I think are good and can give you results? Well, keep on watching. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. And that's exactly what we're getting into today. I asked you and you told me that you would love to see a skincare shop up. You're really enjoying these shop up videos. I enjoy filming them. I appreciate all of you that come along to watch these. If it's your first time here, hello, and if you're coming back for another look, hi, thank you so much for all of your support. I've just hit 20,000 subscribers. You know, it's hard to put into words how I feel for all of your fantastic support. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to come, but this is a video, the skincare shop up, that I think about 90% of you on a poll on my community page said that you wanted to see. If you'd like to see the other shop up videos, they're all in a playlist and I will pop them down below. I've done box dyes, home hair colours, I've done brushes and combs, I've done shampoos and conditioners, styling products, and there's lots more to come. I've got a very, very long list of videos that I'm going to make in this series. But that's a long enough intro. Let's get into, come with me, yes, come with me, as we go round the chemist / drugstore. I'm here in the UK in London, and we look at skincare. Oh, hold on a second, hold on.
So, we're here, we're back at Boots. The music's very loud, goodness me. There's a lot of people around, but let's have a look at skincare. You asked for this video, a lot of you wanted to see it, 90% of you in a poll wanted to see it. So, let's get into it. What's good when it comes to drugstore skincare here in the UK? And a lot of these brands will be available around the globe. Let's get into it. Shall we start off with something we all recognise? Yes, Cerave. Now, I have, not that one, that's the wrong one, that's the SPF. This is the one that I want to talk to you peeps about. Now, Cerave is owned by L'Oreal. The research and development is amazing, and I'm actually using this at the moment. The whole SKU of Cerave is ceramides. So this contains an awful lot of ceramides. Let's have a little look on the ingredients list here, which is tiny. So we've got water, glycerin, then we have niacinamide. I am slightly sensitive to niacinamide, and it's in everything at the moment. Niacinamide is a B3 vitamin. It's great for anti-redness, it's great for calming the skin, great for firmness, great for brightening the skin, but I am slightly reactive to it if it's in a very high amount, although it is in here with those ceramides as well down there. There's also dimethicone in this, so I'm a big fan because it is actually, I find it has a slightly matte dry down, but it's also a really good base for makeup. So the Cerave Facial Moisturising Lotion is a really good one in my book. $14.56 if you're a Boots card holder. I think, what is it if you're not? £18.20, or is it just 20% off? No, it is just 20% off. You don't have to have a Boots card. Boots is a UK chemist if you're not sure what Boots is. But I've used quite a few different things from Cerave's line. And yes, it's owned by L'Oreal, which is controversial for some people, but the research and development they put into it is absolutely amazing. I understand that if you're looking for things that are completely cruelty-free, that L'Oreal brands might not be for you, but this is a really good all-round moisturiser. And they do have a version, which I haven't tried, which has an SPF in it for daytime use. Yeah, Cerave. Now, here's an unobvious top tip. Hydrocolloid patches. If you get bitten, oh hello, I'm destroying the display. If you ever get bitten by mosquitoes whilst you're on holiday, or if you live somewhere where there's a lot of mosquitoes, and I am allergic to mosquito bites, so when I get bitten by them, I'm sensitive to them. Let's not use the word allergy that freely, but I'm very sensitive to them, so they swell up and they get extremely itchy. If you use a hydrocolloid patch, the hydrocolloid will take away the sensitivity, and it also helps to absorb anything that might be inside the mosquito bite, which is what your body is actually reacting to. So, I mean, how adorable are these? I think they are actually star-shaped, aren't they, if I remember correctly from many social platforms that I'm on, but they really do work. So I've got friends that have done it whilst we've been away. So yeah, hydrocolloid patch. I have trouble saying that, hydrocolloid patch on a mosquito bite, but obviously these are also great if you do have a spot that you don't want to pick or you want it to heal quicker. Now, another L'Oreal brand, this video is not sponsored, but La Roche-Posay. Now, a couple of months ago, I was using a prescription for tretinoin, and my skin reacted so badly, like so badly. My skin peeled off, it was red, it was sore. I've obviously stopped using it. But I used this on the recommendation of a friend of mine who's a makeup artist, and this is their hold on, I'm going to murder that, Toleriane cream. And this is extremely gentle. Unlike the Cerave, it has no niacinamide in it, but it's basically a comforting and soothing, looks for the ingredients. Where are the ingredients? There we are, down there. It's a comforting and soothing moisturiser. Now, it has squalene in it here, which is basically a naturally derived ingredient that gives moisture and softness to the skin. Let's have a bit of dimethicone in here as well. Glycerin, which is incredibly moisturising. What else have we got in here? There are some other natural extracts, shea butter and this parky butter as well. I absolutely love this, and it really did calm my skin down. It has quite a thick texture, and it comes in a really interesting pump. I'm not going to open this, obviously, because it's sealed, but it comes in a really interesting kind of airless pump. But if you have very sensitive skin, this is fantastic. I was finding at the time of using the tretinoin that everything else I put on my skin was burning, but this didn't. That's why I went and bought it. It's, it's not cheap, £25.50, but a little goes a long way, and it does have a sort of semi-matte dry down again, but it is a really fantastic base for makeup and very sort of cushy in texture. I have used quite a lot of the La Roche-Posay products over the years, and it is a really good line, good solid line with, again, really great research and development behind it. So, I was in another store recently, and the store was mobbed. It was during a break from school. It was mobbed by teenagers buying these two brands. Bubble Skincare. I haven't used anything from Bubble before, but I have used stuff from Bioma. Now, their kind of like whole strap line is barrier building skincare. We don't really know how much any skincare builds a barrier, if you like, or if our barriers are very disrupted, but obviously there are ingredients that are better for our skin. Now, this is one of the products that I used when the line first came out, which is, let's see if my phone will focus. Oh, hello, come on. There we go. Balancing Face Mist. Now, the great thing about Bioma is it has all of the ingredients on the back here. Obviously, greatest first, ending with the least greatest, ending with the least. Now, this, let's have a look. Obviously, the biggest ingredient here is water. It has glycerin, which attracts lots of moisture, so it's very moisturising. Ceramides. All of the Bioma line contains ceramides, and that's what they're kind of, alluding to building your barrier. There's also in here, I think there is lactic acid, yes, if I remember correctly. Panthenol, which also attracts lots of moisture, and it's really good for the texture of the skin. So, a really good line. What's the price point on this? £13.20. So it's not cheap. It's not pocket money really, I don't think, at that sort of price, but I did really enjoy that. It has a slightly thicker texture. Does anyone still use cleansing wipes? I can't believe that those still get used. Anyway, I'm sidetracked. Then also in this line, and I have just watched two people come and buy this whilst I've been here, this moisturising gel cream I used back in the day when it first came out. This is a very lightweight texture. It's oil-free. There's niacinamide in there again, although I wasn't sensitive to this. There's also glycerin. What else do we have in here? Those ceramides, which again is, like I said, it's kind of the skew of the line. There is camellia leaf extract. Not sure what that would do. It tends to be cropping up in a lot of products, and then we have the lactic acid in there again. Let's have a look. Panthenol. So very similar to the mist, if you like, but I really enjoyed that, and it's really good if you do have slightly oilier skin. Bioma. I mean, the packaging is just. And the line's got bigger now. I think there's body care as well, which I would love to try. But yeah, it looks fantastic. Now, I've already mentioned my prescription tretinoin flare-up, and something else, not that one, it's that one, I think, although they're both the same. Something else that I bought in a panic on the way home after my skin had really flared up was this Calm and Restore Oat-Rich Balm from Aveeno. This is such a beautiful texture and such a lovely formulation. Very simple, glycerin, panthenol. It has petrolatum, so that's basically, that kind of Vaseline-y texture, if you like. Petrolatum is a very simple ingredient. Obviously, it's a chemical ingredient. It isn't natural, but this was instantly calming. Then it has, let's have a look, we have the kernel oat oil, so oil from oat. The whole thing with Aveeno is that colloidal oatmeal, which is really calming and soothing. So a very simple formula, but it really did calm my skin. It has quite a thick texture. So I think they're suggesting, well, they're not suggesting that you use that at night time, but unscented, like everything else that I've spoken about so far, which is interesting that so many products now are becoming fragrance free. Oh, I've just seen that. That looks quite interesting. Triple oat serum. I bet that's a beautiful texture. But I really love this, and it got me out of a tricky situation. I just covered my face in a really thick layer, let it sink in a little bit, and then went to bed. Let's take a moment to talk about lip balms. Oh, there's those dreaded cleansing wipes again. Ugh, hideous. I mean, if anyone wants to be angry about something, be angry about those. So lip balms, okay. All of these are, I would suspect, without even looking at them, are very heavily scented or flavoured. And that, if you have dry skin on your lips, your lips don't have any oil glands, so that's why they get dry and chapped. But if you can get unscented ones of these, then that's great. But my top tip for moisturising your lips, and something I have in, I'm wrecking the joint, something I have in all my kit, all my hair kits, and in the salon, and at home, by the side of my bed, is just this. Just petrolatum, that's what this is, as it was in the Aveeno product, just Vaseline. It's so amazing on dry, chapped lips. I wouldn't apply it too much. Things like this are lovely, but they're very heavy with their fragrance. Carmex has camphor in it, which will make your lips feel immediately hydrated, but then it will over time make them dry, and you find that you use them more and more. So I would say, get yourself some of this, £2.70. I also use it on my fingertips before I go to bed. Haven't been using it recently, that's why my hands look so dry, but it's really, really good to lock in moisture because it's occlusive. Really simple, not expensive, does the job, and will make your lips very soft. Now, seeing as we are here in Boots the Chemist, I think that Boots is owned by Walmart, so some of these products will be available in Walmart. This is their own skincare line, and I know that the R&D that goes into this is absolutely amazing. For example, 3 for 2. For example, this pure retinol. Now, this is 3% retinol, and I've just had a quick look at the formula, and it actually has a very simple formula. There is dimethicone in here. Retinol is generally used at night time, not during the day. You could use it during the daytime, but then it gets tricky with SPF, although you should always be wearing SPF. But this is a nighttime product, really. It even says night concentrate. Nighttime is when the skin regenerates itself the most and when it can take in most active ingredients, if you like, and obviously you're not mixing it with SPF. But one of the biggest ingredients here is dimethicone. It actually has 2 sorts of silicone in it. Dimethicone is occlusive, so that means that it's going to help to lock in moisture. But this has retinol in it, so actual retinol. We're not sure exactly what type because it doesn't tell us on here. But the rest of the ingredients list is actually quite simple. What's the price point? £35, $34.95. Screaming child, yes, just to cue them up just when I'm about to start talking about something. But yeah, from Boots number 7, as I've already mentioned, great research and development, huge brand, lots of choice. Like, they have a vitamin C line over here. Oh, hello, come back. They have a vitamin C line, which is next to the serum that keeps falling on the floor. They have Restore and Renew, there's a neck serum there. So there's lots and lots of choice, and it's all gonna be really great price points and lots of active ingredients. Now, I am constantly buying SPF. I never ever go out the house without SPF on, whatever the time of year. And this is one that I first used when I first got into it. My hands are so dry from shampooing last week. Now, this is the 50 Plus Invisible Fluid. It's very runny. It has a ball bearing inside. Obviously, I'm not going to open the packaging because it's sealed, and you mustn't do that when you're out looking for skincare. Ultimate protection, so it's 50 plus, but if you have an oily skin or you hate the feeling of SPF, this is a chemical sunscreen, so that means that it doesn't leave a white cast. This is a really brilliant product. What are we saying? Ultimate protection with ultra long wear UVA filters, very water and sweat resistant, anti-eye stinging, non-perfumed. Yeah, this didn't sting my eyes. I used this for years, for a long time. I actually buy this for my dad as well, because my dad doesn't have any hair on the top of his head, and it's important that you protect the top of your head if you are a man without any hair, because you know skin cancer is a real thing, and just from an anti-aging point of view. But like I said, if you hate the texture of SPF, then that's a really good one. If you're trying to get somebody into SPF that thinks, ugh, no, it's horrible, such a brilliant formula from La Roche-Posay. Now, you might not think it because my hands look so dry, but this hand cream, it's another Cerave product. I know there'll be some people that aren't L'Oreal fans, but this is brilliant. I have this little mini one in my bag that goes everywhere, and then I have a bigger one that is by the side of my bed, and I use that before I put Vaseline on my cuticles, before I catch some Z's at night time. The glamour, I know, the glamour of hairdressing life. It's such a brilliant product. Again, ceramides. This has a texture that dries down completely, so it doesn't leave your hands really greasy. Can I read the ingredients on the back with my spectacles? Glycerin, ceramides, yes, we know. Let's have a look. This has petrolatum in it as well, which is a really fantastic moisturiser. We've already talked about that, but it really is a great formula. And you would think it would be greasy and heavy with something like petrolatum in it, but it really isn't. If you suffer with dry hands, get some of this, thank me later. Hello, what a lovely face, what a beautiful smile. Now, I haven't used an awful lot of Vichy. There doesn't seem to be much of a Vichy like stand in here, which is interesting, but I have used this. I did buy this last year because I was trying to save money, and I didn't buy the very expensive Allies of Skin vitamin C that I normally use, so I bought this. Now, this is basically pure vitamin C. It has ascorbic acid in it, that's the one, and it also has this ingredient here, which is picogenol, which is a very, very powerful antioxidant. I really didn't like this at all, I'm afraid. What is the price of this? $35.25. It's so runny. It doesn't actually stay on your face. Like, by the time you've got it from your hand to your face, it's all run down your arm, and yeah, I didn't really see any like results from using it at all. I know it's very popular. I know that a lot of the Vichy labs, laboratory products are really popular. Again, their R&D is great, but I really didn't like the texture of this. It's, you know, it is runnier than that. It's like water when it comes out. And it does tend to make your face, in my opinion, slightly orange, which we're not doing that, no. I'm digressing very slightly for a couple of seconds. Do you want to see a video where I test out a few of these home hair colours? There's a home hair colour shop up, you know, what you might call box dye here on my channel. I will link it down below in the description. But do you want to see me test a few of these out? Something I've been thinking about. I can't test them all, but would you like to see me try a few out on swatches? Wouldn't be on a live human person, but on swatches. Let me know in the comments, wherever they are. So we had to talk about The Ordinary, didn't we, very briefly. Now, I have used a lot of what is in front of you. I was just talking to the very lovely assistant. They have their own assistant here in Boots at The Ordinary. This probably deserves its own video, to be honest, which I could do. Is that, again, I'm asking you questions. If you would like its own video, then I could do that. Just very briefly, the glycolic toner, so good. Obviously, it's very active. So if you have a sensitive skin, patch test. I love the natural moisturising factors with the HA. I actually have this in my cupboard of plenty in my bathroom, and I've just, because I stopped using that prescription tretinoin, I have actually just started on using their new retinol, which uses retinaldehyde. I'm not into it enough to be able to give you give you my thoughts, but I am really enjoying it because my skin tolerates retinaldehyde very well. And retinaldehyde, which is interesting, is kind of as near to a prescription as you would get. It's a different form of retinol, but again, it really needs its own video. So if that's something, it's bright yellow in colour, which is a bit of a shame for my bed linen. But if you would like a video that gets up off the floor, that's all about The Ordinary, let me know. I mean, I could just stand and chat for hours about this. Maybe it would be a sit-down video, and I would, pop things up on screen. But yeah, let me know. Have you used anything from The Ordinary? Do you enjoy it yourself? So many questions. It's worth a quick shout out to these fantastic Cetaphil cleansers. Now I use this one, which is the hydrating foaming cream cleanser. So it's like a cream cleanser that turns into a foam, and it's really, really good. I used to use a cleanser that was super expensive, much higher price point, but I've been using this. It's out of stock. It's clearly very good. But I have also used the oily skin cleanser. I found that not drying, but I found it kind of cleansed my skin a bit too much. And I have also used the gentle skin cleanser, normal to dry sensitive skin, which is more of a cream cleanser that you can wash off. Brilliant price points, really good formulations, really worth having a look at. I buy this one in like a massive size. I think it's 500 ml, but yeah, so good, clearly. So that's it. We've had a look at what's good here in Boots at the drugstore/chemist. Now, it is, honestly, you run the gamut of everything when you're doing one of these, and probably lunchtime, midweek is not the best time to do one. Oh, don't want to get anyone in the video, but let's go back home and have a chat about what we found here today.
And just like that, back to me at home. So that was our shop up. That was my look at what is good and what I really enjoy from the drugstore when it comes to skincare. And just to prove to you that they are all things that I talked about that I do use on the regular, I have them all here from my cupboard of plenty in the back of my flat in my bathroom. That amazing Cerave moisturiser, which I really love, even though there's niacinamide in there, which I am a little bit sensitive to. Such a great product. For me, this is kind of the ultimate SPF, the La Roche-Posay one, the 50 plus, yes, oil control fluid. It's funny, when I film those shop ups, that chemist, that drugstore is in the middle of the West End of London on Oxford Street, which is the main shopping street. So it's always really, really busy. But I always end up helping people, and there was a lovely young man in there who didn't know anything about skincare, about SPF. He plays a lot of sport, and he took home some of that. Big up to me helping people in the store. The Cetaphil cleanser, the one that I mentioned that was out of stock in the video, which is so good. And then I could never pronounce this properly, the Toleraine fluid from La Roche-Posay. This video is not sponsored. These are all things that I bought with my own money that I really enjoy, that I'm sharing with you. If you'd like more in this series, gets rather overexcited and giddy. There's a huge bird outside on the wall eating the food that I put out. Marvellous, love the birds. I would get rather giddy filming these videos, overexcited, because I'm talking about products which is something that I love. What would you like to see in this series? Let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to entertain any idea for a video. Of course, if it's beauty and skincare related, as I say many, many times here on my channel, there is loads and loads and loads of free hair education here on my channel. It's all free from me to you, so we can all have great hair. A huge thanks for watching this. And if you have enjoyed this video or found it helpful, you know exactly what to do. You all take lots and lots of care, and I'll see you all in the next one.